In this video, we are going to discuss the first poem of grade 8, book Honeydew, and the poem's name is The Ant and the Cricket, written by Aesop. This is a fable. What is a fable? Fable is a story, often with animal as characters, that conveys a moral. I start the poem. A silly young cricket, accustomed to sing through the warm, sunny months of gay summer and spring, began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty and winter was come. And the poet says there was a silly young cricket. Why the cricket was silly? Because he does not understand the value of time. Accustomed to. What is accustomed to? Used to. And he used to sing throughout the summer and spring season. Began to complain when he found that at home his cupboard was empty, and he started complaining when he did not find anything at home and his cupboard was totally empty. And when winter set in. When winters set in, his cupboard was totally empty and he could not find anything to eat at home. Second stanza. Not a crumb to be found on the snow-covered ground. Not a flower could he see, not a leaf on a tree. Because of winter season, the whole ground was covered with snow and he could not find a bit of grain to eat. Not a flower could he could not see a single flower, and he could not see a single leaf on a tree. Oh, what will become, says the cricket, of me? What will happen of me? And because he was dying because of starvation. Next stanza. At last, by starvation and famine made bold, all dripping with wet and all trembling with cold, and at last, and he was dying of hunger and famine, and there was scarcity of food, and this thing made him bold, and he gathered courage, all dripping with wet, and he was totally wet because of rain, and he was trembling with cold, and he set out. Away he set off. He set out to a miserly ant. Miserly means stingy, selfish ant. And he set out to a miserly ant to see if to keep him alive he would grant, and if the ant would give him something to eat he would alive. Next stanza. Him shelter from rain and a mouthful of grain he wished only to borrow, he would repay it tomorrow. And he said to give him some shelter from rain and a mouthful means little, and a little of grain, and he wished only to borrow, and he said he wanted to borrow that these things and he would give them back. If not, he must die of starvation and sorrow, and if the ant would not give anything he have to die because of hunger. Next stanza. Says the ant to the cricket, I am your servant and friend. And he says, I am your friend, I am your servant, but we ants never borrow, we ants never lend. But we ants follow the principle. Which principle? We ants never borrow, we ants never lend. We do not believe in borrowing or lending. But tell me, dear friend, did you lay nothing by? But then ant asked, you have not saved anything for the hard days when the weather was warm? Quoth the cricket, not. Quoth means said. Quoth means said the cricket. Note, and he replied in negative. My heart was so light that I sang day and night. My heart was so happy that I sang day and night, for all nature looked gay, because the nature looked very gay, very pleasant, and so I spent all my day and night in singing and singing. You sang, sir, you say, and the ant said, you sang, you say, you sang, sir. Go then, says the ant, dance the winter away. Now you should sing and dance in the winter season too. Thus ending, he hastily lifted the wicket and out of door turned the poor little cricket. Folks call this a fable. I will warrant it's true. Some crickets have 4 legs and some have 2. And thus ending in at the end, and he quickly lifted the door and out of the door turned the poor little cricket, and the ant treated cricket rudely and turned him out of the door. Fox means people. People say this is a fable, but the poet says, I warrant, and this is true. Some crickets have 4 legs, some have 2. The poet means that the fable is true for human beings as well. Though 2-legged, that are human beings, some of us behave like that 4-legged cricket. The poet refers to the people who spend all their earnings and lay nothing by. Now, this poem has a moral that we should save something for our hard days, for our rainy days. Now, we will discuss some poetic devices that are used in the poem. First, that is poetic devices that has been used in, that is personification. What is personification? Personification, when humans' characteristics are given to animals or non-living thing, this is called personification. Right? First poetic device has been used in this poem, that is personification. Second is metaphor. Where is metaphor? Metaphor, this is in the last line. Where it is? In the last line. Some crickets have 4 legs, some have 2. It is the comparison. What is metaphor? It is the comparison of two things. The poet compares lazy and careless people with the cricket in the last line. Now, third poetic device that has been used in this poem, that is alliteration. In the very first line, what is alliteration? Alliteration, 2 or 3 words start from the same letter giving the same sound. In the first line, there are 2 words starting from S, silly, sing, giving the same sound, sa. This is alliteration. Next, come to second line. Second line, through the warm sunny months of gay summer, spring. Sunny, summer, spring. These 3 words start from S, sunny, summer, spring. These 3 words start from S giving the same sound, S. Right? This is also alliteration. Next, where is alliteration? Now come to stanza 2, fifth line. Fifth line, what will. These 2 words start from W giving the sound W. What will. There is alliteration. Right? Next, where is alliteration? Come to stanza 3. Stanza 3, wet, with, wet. Now this is also alliteration, with, wet. Right? This is also alliteration. Right. Now these are the poetic devices. We have discussed poetic devices, personification, metaphor, alliteration, right? Thank you.